Smoking rates have been going down for decades, but it's still one of the most preventable causes of serious illness or death. We've been following these kind of trends for years. There are campaigns like the Great American Smokeout from the American Cancer Association to look at those things and encourage people to quit. Here to talk about some of those trends and that Great American Smokeout is Dr. David Rizzuto with Priority Health. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And I guess let's go right into it. Talk about that Great American Smokeout.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Great American Smokeout is part of the American Cancer Society's initiative to raise awareness for smoking cessation, letting folks know that there's others out there that want to stop smoking. And I think the first one was in the late 70s. So we've been at this, as you mentioned, for quite a while, number of decades.
And what are some ways that people who want to quit and they say they've tried to quit but it's not working, what are some methods that they can try and turn to and try to hopefully be successful?
Yeah, so for folks who've tried and failed, try again. There's always good, information out there to help stopping smoking, but really making a plan. So getting deliberate about how you want to approach tobacco and smoking cessation for yourself. Waking up one morning and just saying, okay, today I'm going to become a non-smoker, probably not the greatest solution because you will have some recidivism. So getting a plan and creating that quit date, and that's what the Great American Smokeout gives folks to say there's a number of people, third week in November, this is your potential quit date, no other people are doing that. Enlisting friends and family, letting people around you know that you might be a little on edge because that withdrawal from nicotine can make you a little cranky, a little edgy, a little not yourself. So coworkers, family, friends, letting them know that you're going to want to stop smoking. And then there's the addiction with nicotine that we want to get over, but there's also that habit cigarette. A lot of folks that I talk to say, I've tried before and I just wake up and now I have a cigarette in my hand. So you need to change your patterns. So on break at work or, in the mornings, changing those habits so that way the cigarette is not part of the habit in addition to the nicotine addiction.
It's physical and mental changes, I think, setting those goals to hopefully eventually get there.
Correct.
And wanting that feeling of being able to quit, how soon, once you start setting these goals, can you feel physical health effects of betterment?
Yeah, so the last cigarette you've had, within 20 minutes, your body is actually getting health benefits of not having that tobacco. There's small changes that happen inside the lungs or inside the alveoli that when we're not inhaling those toxins and chemicals, that our lungs actually are self-correcting. But the longer we've been a smoker, the longer it takes for those health benefits to set in. Yeah. And so, although it's happening relatively quickly, smoking for any duration can have negative health effects long term.
Yeah, but just 20 minutes can make a difference for someone.
Within 20 minutes of stopping, yeah, your body is starting to self-correct.
Yeah, I want to switch gears real quick. We've been talking about traditional smoking for now. When I did some work in public health and studying the impacts of smoking, vaping, e-cigarettes, while the traditional smoking has trended the right way, those other numbers are trending upward. Let's talk about that because vaping and e-cigarettes, those have chemicals. Now, it's not just tobacco. Scientists are still looking into it. What do we know about that and the impacts to our health? Is it similar to the lung effects? What do we know? What can we do?
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. There is a lot of unknown about the vaping activity, and so that is atomization of the nicotine, so it's just a different delivery system. Vape juice is what's in those cartridges, and the concentration of nicotine in vape juice can be sometimes magnitudes well in advance of what you would get in a typical combustible cigarette. And you mentioned chemicals. So there's chemicals in a cigarette, things like formaldehyde, which is embalming solution, or things like phenols, which are like in paint thinner. You don't want to smoke those, but we do. And in vape, there's a lot of chemicals that we really haven't even identified yet. Yeah. So lots of toxins and chemicals, and the literature is still out there.
Yeah.
So
so much to look into and study from, and hopefully these tips can help some of our viewers out there.
And I think the one thing that I would want to share is really the only thing that should be going in our lungs is air, non-polluted air.
Fresh air.
So vaping, smoking, all that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, good habits start with just changing your mindset, perhaps. Dr. David Rizzuto, thank you so much for joining us here on Newsday. And still ahead, we'll have more of your headlines and your weather coming up.